Hello again and welcome to Steve's Vintage Radio Longstay Workshop. And Merry Christmas, by the way. Today I record this, it's Christmas Eve, so tomorrow is a big day when people do nothing but sit in front of the TV and do naff and children cry. Anyway, Christmas Day, yeah, so a merry one anyway, even if you like Christmas, which I'm afraid I don't actually, but there you go. Anyway, sometimes you get something and you know for a fact that there's going to be somebody on here who will actually start to salivate all this and it may as well start to water. I don't know whether this one will actually do that to anyone, don't know if it works or not, but well, we can try, can't we? This is a wonderful piece of equipment. Honestly, it is, and it is, and Harvey, just for you, this is a Brenell tape recorder, not the kind that you have. I shan't do one of these on this channel, those on this channel, because you practically got the everything you want to know about those comes with you. But this is another Brenell unit. This is the Brenell 3-star, and as you can see, there are certain things missing from it as well, but that's not a problem because we can actually, I can find something to go there relatively easily. So what's got volume, bass, treble, so it's a amplified circuit, 3-speed as always with these machines, microphone, radio and all the rest of it. So this is a rather sick looking at the moment Brenell tape recorder. I know that you like these, Harvey, so let's see what we can do with this one. First of all, we'll do everything else. We know it's not been plugged in for a long time. How do we know? Yes, it's one of these old 5-volt plugs. Like I said, if anybody wants these, then just say, and I'll stick them in an envelope, but I don't want them here, so you know I won't. But you know, we've got to take this off, and then of course I'll use the safe block down here to power it and see what it does, and of course doesn't do. I don't know what state the heads are in. I don't know anything about it actually, to be honest with you, but we'll do what we can because that's what we do on this channel. So yes, so I'll get it set up and we'll do a first test and see what happens, if anything. Well, I got into this thing and immediately I found out why the magic eye wasn't working. It's gone to air, so that goes in the bin over there. Now, getting this thing apart is it's not difficult, but there's a lot to do. If I was to pick up the front panel like that, you see, you take off the knobs, you take off the screws, and you also take off, you know, the levers, things like that. But also, you got to take off the front here, the control at the back here, and also there's 4 markers which come off as well, and one here as well which comes off with the screwdriver. So take that lot off and then squeeze this thing off and the thing comes apart. Deck itself is simply enough 4 screws and it comes out. Okay, so first of all, one of these drive belts is missing. Okay, that's the motor, which didn't seem to do anything earlier on. So what we'll do now, if I wish to do that, comes up okay, and we'll see if we're getting any power to any part of the motor if we can. It goes through this here, I think. So okay, fair enough. Something going away there. So I don't know. I think this is a DC. I don't know for sure, but we'll check. You know, because here we go. So first of all, we'll go here. Doesn't seem to be a right lot, does there? Try an AC just to see. Again, not very much. So I think the first thing we do therefore is have a look at this power supply here, which has various bits and pieces in it. So I think the first place we look is here. Goes up here, and then of course it goes to the motor, which is here, and I can't quite get that. So if that comes off like that, that'll come out. There we are. Yeah, and I'll put an A1 meter across that. Well, this thing. Yeah. So that goes onto there. That goes onto there. Doesn't seem to be a right lot. Okay, with that off, let's have a look at the other thing here and see if we can make any see if anything is coming off there, because it might be. So take some results and go there, and again there's nothing. Wait a minute. 246 volts AC, so that's obviously okay. So therefore the problem, I hope the problem is here, because the problem is here. This will have to be put aside for another day when I've got a motor, but hopefully it's not. So yeah, so if we look in here, what I'll do first of all though, I'll make the deck work properly, so you can switch it to playback. There might be a switch in here which will switch the play on and off. It's quite possible. So actually I think there is actually. So we'll go there first after I've cleaned the deck. The deck is now out of the machine, as you can see, and I've got buttons for those, but I don't think they'll fit as they are, so for the moment I'm still using my fingers and getting a bit sore actually without those. So that's something that I'll look at. Now first of all, the motor works okay. It wasn't the motor, it was the switch here, which is put in. Now it's on wind here, like that, you see. Rewind, like that. It pushes, that goes into there. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Hang on, I'll go out. This is a one motor deck. One motor. Now the problem with the one motor decks is that they can be a lot more complex to work on and sort out than the 3 motor or 2 motor versions, because of course mechanics inside switch it between rewind, fast forward, and of course play. So this machine goes okay on one, but won't go into the others. So I think the next thing we do here is take take this this lot off here, and I hope to God that that will lead us through to finding out why it's doing what it's doing or not doing what it's doing. Something here has jammed up. That's obvious. And by feeling about and feeling various things, I know that this lot down here looks to be okay. I'm not 100%, but up here, if I press rewind in, it goes all the way like that. But that way it doesn't, and that way it doesn't either. Now, if I hold that up like that. Again, it comes back fairly peculiar, but it doesn't actually go into play, or in this case, in this case, winding in that direction, which of course, with the thing right way up is that direction. No, now for that reason, I take all this off very carefully and look underneath and see what we can find. I bet you something somewhere is oiled up or greased up. I bet you any money. But unfortunately, in this case, we've got to get to whatever it is and sort it. And when we do that, hopefully, this thing will then go and work okay on all three modes, like it doesn't do at the moment. So if we now take out this screw here as well, which is a little bit trickier, a little lot trickier actually. It's coming, there we are, now it's coming, slowly but sure it's coming. Now at that point we should be able to work out how to get this thing off here, and with it off here, does it yeah, I've got to take this off here as well. So there's that bolt there and that, they're not linked together, certainly that bolt and that screw, and hopefully this should now come off the back, and if it does, we can find out exactly what it is and is not doing. Because here, like the BSR motors, this is held in one place, but different things are connected to it to make it move in different directions. Although it's not a BSR, obviously it's a Brenell, but the same principle probably applies here. I must admit, I've not done one of these, so you're learning it along with me here. Again, I haven't got a manual for this. There doesn't seem to be one online either for it. So we are really going, you know, into wilderness with this one, as it were. Now that isn't the problem that everyone thinks it will be, because a tape deck is a tape deck at the end of the day, and these mechanical things, you just got to be patient, very patient with them, and we will of course get there in the end. So that comes out. Okay. So obviously it's here. So I think we take out these here. And then then of course hopefully it'll lift off and we can have a look underneath and find out why it's not doing what it should be doing. If it is down here, by the way, with this set of the way, we'll be able to see a lot clearly as to what is what. So it's certainly worth doing for that reason alone. Now with these screws out here, it moves about as you can see there, but it doesn't actually want to come off, and because of speed control here, this is speed control here, okay? Now if you look underneath, you find that this screw here, this nut bolt, doesn't actually have any effect on the speed control itself, but so basically it's this which needs to come off here, this spring clip here. So very carefully we need to get it out carefully, as in once you get it out, but we don't want it to fly across the workshop. So be very, very careful with this, okay? Very careful, okay? Then this should lift off. With the motor out of the way, we can now look a bit more closely at the in question. So first of all, that works okay. That works okay. That works okay. That works okay. Speed control, that's fine. As you can see there, that's okay. That again, it's okay, but I'll give it a, just to make sure. This here is okay. What this does is it puts in an extra brake on there, like that, as you can hear, as you can see. That's okay. That's okay. Now, again, the wind again. It doesn't. It doesn't now. That works okay. That's the wind back. Okay, that's fine. And that isn't. So something here that's not doing what it should, obviously. Now we know that that's okay because it moves perfectly fine. But not that way, you see. Now that's okay there. So next thing we have to do is take this off as well, because this out of the way gives me access under here, where I think the problem may well be. So this, by the way, probably does the idler and the capstone underneath it, the idler on top there. So when this big wheel comes off here like that, we should be able to see everything that goes on under here, which I think is where the problem may be, because that works okay, but like I said, it only uses this switch here on the two outs, so probably the problem is here. Now also we've got this, that's okay. That's okay, as you can see there. So now we've got to get this off, come hell or high water, or probably both. By the way, also, I've actually, for testing, got it on the end of the bench here. This is because if I put it on the bench properly like that, you see, the stop control is permanently triggered. If I do it like that, it's not. So that is why that is done like that. Okay. So let's get this off. First of all, getting this off from underneath. This is the wheel that drives the capstan, the idler here. This is the idler, and there's a little grub screw in the side. So grub screw out, and off it comes. Now, going underneath, everything is clear, but again, apart from that one, middle one, it doesn't do anything. Now, looking at it, I find it's very slightly skew-whiffed. only by about a degree or so, but is that enough, I wonder? So I notice also that this here, underneath here, if I can show it to you, hang on, I'll sift it round. Under here, those, that is slightly skew as well. I'll zoom in, hang on. This is the back of the control here. They're the heads there, don't worry about those. But this here and this, about a degree skew whiffed. Now, will that be enough, I wonder, to make it do what it says it's doing? Not correctly, I wonder. So I think the next thing we do is take this off and give it a go clean and see what happens. Now there's two screws here, that one and that one, and they should, I hope, be able to straighten it. That might be enough, but I'm going to clean it up anyway, so we'll see. If look on the side of it, there's a screw there, a screw there, you see there, and the screw on the other side there, okay, as well as the spring clips for inside there. So what I'll do, I'll give all this a clean and try and get that correctly aligned. If I can, maybe that'll cure it. I don't know. I really don't. But it's certainly worth a try. Well, I think I found the problem is under here. That's middle, that's okay. Stop. That's play. And now that's okay as well. And if you look underneath, you'll find that the plastic pads and roller are somewhat engaged, as you can see there. So that's obviously right. I took that off as well, looked underneath, but yeah. Fortunately, not yet. Fast foot, not yet. Not yet the rewind. Not fast forward, whichever one it is. The rewind, which I think is this one here. So there's something here as well, but it all comes down to here. I've weld everything I could, but I'm going to go into here a little bit deeper, I think, to find out exactly what. Again, it's probably grease, and the oil I put in is probably steeped in over time and has made them come out and work again, as you can see there. But not that one, it seems. Now that goes in there, okay. Okay. This also goes up here, like that. And moves them. And that, like that. Something else here as well. Now, if you look under here, there's a button here, which probably also needs loosening because it doesn't seem to go all the way to the top there. So I think the next thing we do is have a look at that and go under here again and find out why that is not engaged the way it should. But we are getting there, slowly but surely, well, very slowly and very surely. At this stage I now have all three modes working. That's play. There you go. By the way, this top control with the right way up, gravity will help that, so that might not be a problem. That's rewind one way, and that's the stiff one, which is rewind the other way. And in each case, as you can see, the motor's engaged there, and it seems to be working at the moment. This deck seems to be one which has some leeway on it. Things can be, you know, some ways bent slightly, which I admitted what I've done. Here, for example, this here, long wave, that there, this little piece there, is pressed down, okay? Now go the other way like that. Now you see it goes up like that, and it does it only when that screw is slightly undone. So maybe they do the washing it, I don't know. I'll put one in it anyway, so it's doing that now. Now as far as playback is concerned, we had this on, and this appeared with the screws that were in it to do not a lot apart from stop it from playing. So I left it off here. Now obviously now it plays, and it also, if we go underneath with it switch to play, there we are, it also engages the heads and the capstan, which isn't there right now, as you know. So this part of the deck is, as far as I can tell, done. So now we've got to start putting it back together again. And again, with these sort of jobs, we've got to start thinking about how we're going to do it. You see, each piece that goes in, again, all three molds have to be checked, because we know that doing a bit inching before. So I'll go through, and each thing I put back in, I'll check them all. Okay, simple enough, including this, which now goes over the top the right way up, please. There we are. Like that. Now that should now go and that should go onto there, which it does. I've got to put a few things back into place yet to make it do it, but it should do. This is the speed control here, which is done by these three here. So obviously that's one wind. That's the other wind, like that. And playback is there. Okay. So now we've got to sort out putting that back as well. So obviously every single thing that goes in, the whole thing has to be checked again for and anything which doesn't work with it put back on, that's not needed, I will leave out. Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. Now I've put that back on there, that circlip back on there, this is back in properly with the circlip there, and of course the stop control has been put back together as well, as you can hear there. So now it still operates. That's play. That's wind one way, and that one, which is a bit stiffer, is wind the other way. So of course what happens, you see, is this bar here on the bottom, they all latch to it like that. Okay, see, if you come in closer, which I'll do, hang on. See, if you come in closer, each one of these has got a lip on it there, you see, and so what happens, you see, that one, playback, helps in place against that bar, like that. This one is wind that way, same held in place there, and of course the other one again held in place in a similar way. So that's how it operates. So that is now working okay, and of course this switch here is operating on the wall, as is all this. So now we carry on putting it back together, and each bit we put back in, we test it. Okay, always test it, a bit like capacitors on a valve radio. One or two at the most, check it. One or two at the most, check it. And the other thing, of course, is that, which I'm not so sure of as of yet. I don't think that wants something quite that big, but there's something that goes between there, and I'm not sure at this stage whether it goes straight across or is twisted. As I've said, I don't know whether this goes to here twisted or not, but that's we're going to interview, there we are. That goes to there, and there's no belt there, so something goes across there obviously. But now, of course, next thing I do is put this back in the right way up, like that, and it goes like that, and again that goes onto there like that, and turns, and should turn that on playback. It does, just about. And of course on the wines it might do as well, I don't know on that one, but certainly. So there we are. So that's how these operate down here. The motor and the motor plates are now back on, as you can hear there, see there. Now, as far as the this belt is concerned, it has to go onto this here. It has to, this wheel here. And so for that reason, I can't go across like that because that's in the way. So it goes from there to there. That's looking pretty obvious from that. So I'll have to get a belt for that and put it on, and hopefully then we can maybe try this thing and see what it does, and more likely doesn't do. This machine does get better and better. At the moment it's switched to play, although not powered obviously, and the pressure pads go up there like that, no trouble at all, and they spring back as well. The pause control puts that back, but the capstan wheel goes on there, and it doesn't go up as far as the, you see, doesn't go up as far as the idler. Maybe you'll see it better there. Okay, that is probably because of this here. Now it's either that one or that one, but something here is not putting that all the way up where it should go. If I pull this forward like that, up it goes. So it's either going to be this not being pushed forward enough, which is possible, or this not being right here. Now I'm going to start by addressing this here. Now I did leave a bit off underneath, and maybe that needs to be on. I don't know, but I hope not, because it doesn't actually do anything apart from hold everything off, you know. But the buttons are all okay now, as you can see there, but it's not actually going any further forward. Actually, pressing it down slightly, it does do. If you pull that, to take that off like that, it does go forward slightly more. And so therefore I think it's this here. Now if you look here, you see that is held down, that's constant, but this here, this bit here is a bit which pushes it forward further. Doesn't seem to be any form of tape grab anyway. And you know, and that should still be running there. So unfortunately, it's either going to be under here or underneath. So the next thing we have to look at is why, when it's in playback, does that not go up there like that? Which it should be doing, but at the moment it's not, so it's not being pushed fully up. You see, it's not being pushed all the way up. I hold my hands up, there you are, because yes, I've made a terrible mistake here. Not a terrible mistake, but a bad one. I left off a piece of the deck earlier on, this bit here, and it goes onto here like that, the two holes, and what it does, it pushes this out a bit further so the capstan can engage. Without it, the capstan won't engage. So it goes back on here. The screws inside there don't seem to want to go back, so we'll have to have a little think about it. But yes, this bit here, is important. Okay, it goes here, and so I'm going to try and find a way of holding it in place in such a way as to make the capstan and idler operate properly. Right, I've got some glue on, some araldite metal glue on there to hold it in place. Doesn't do that much actually, it just makes this bar here go further up on playback. So I'll put all that in like that now, and basically that's in there to make it stay in play, the capstan engaged, and from that we should be able to get some playback, because it will then of course be willing to operate properly and nicely and discreetly, which is what it should be doing. The reason why I've done it this way and not with screws is that the screws, when they're in, they do seem to clog up what's underneath somehow. They didn't before, obviously, but they do now. And sometimes discretion is a better part of valour. And in these situations, you do think that maybe it is better to go the route of least resistance. So like I said, that is now like that. Now I can't, if we did a playback now and this came back, before that has dried, it might slip out of place, which obviously we don't want it to do. So obviously that's in playback. That's stop. That's in playback like that. Put that back in there. And that will hold, should hold that in place for long enough to hopefully make it want to stay and do what it's meant to do, which is at the moment it's again not doing, because it's not dried. So when it's dried, that will now work here. So at that point it should work. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put this aside to dry overnight, and when it does that, I'll try to get it and we'll see what it's like. It's not the best way to do it by any means, but sometimes the way that's not the best way is the right way, because it might see, today see it's gone back, but this here, so we'll go up a bit further, as you can see there. So that goes up like that. That goes down like that. Like that. And then of course it should operate. So I'm going to put this deck aside after making that a bit more secure, and look at the electronics while this gets dried. Here is 90% of the electronics side to it. The power supply unit is still in the case down there, but this is most of it. And before we plug this in, we've got capacitors to change. We've got a TCC here. We've got two, three of the plashes. We've got hunt capacitors. We've got that thing there. We've got a few. So before we go any further, the valves are okay because I have had this running briefly at the beginning of the video, so it does look to be more or less okay. But these must be changed. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is change all these, like that one, that one, that one, and of course two under here as well. So change those and we'll take it from there. The electronics of a tape recorder are fairly simple but fairly ingenious. Here's the circuit. Now the circuit of a tape recorder of this kind, actually it doesn't have a separate valve for your raise. So the EL84, when switched to recorder, does the raise as well. So it does both. Again, I don't know about the head, but I'm going to take a chance on that because I'm told that they generally work on these. So now it's time to capacitor changing. Now the amp has been put back in here but not screwed down just yet. Valves are been taken out, and all there is in it at the moment is that bulb to show it's receiving power. Now the circuit is here, and it tells me in no uncertain terms, I think, that bulb should be receiving 6.3 volts. And so first thing we'll do is check and see that it is, because it should be. So now you put it on like that and you see straight away that light comes on and it looks alright. So let's see if it is, shall we? Now 6.3 volts is AC. Okay, AC. Let's see if it 6.7. That's okay because no valves are in. They will pull it down like so. So the 6.3 volts is okay. Now the other side of it, of course, is the HT. Now, again, look at the circuit, which is here. We can take the HT off the magic eye, which is just here. So again, this goes to deck like that. I think that's deck, isn't it? Find it in a minute anyway on that one. And so it's we'll go around and check them, okay, just to see. So full devote again. There's no HT being drawn, and the capacitors seem to be okay because it's up at 400 volts. So so far so good. Now at this stage now, we'll put that away over there like that, and put that over there away like that, and then we'll look at putting various valves in, and as they come in, the 6.7 will drop slightly, and also there should be some movement down from 400 and whatever it was volts. So the first thing we're going to put in is the EL84, which is, if memory serves me right, one of these down here. Yeah, I need a bigger bench, don't I, really? Yeah, okay, so the EL84 goes in. And also I'll put the speaker as well, so hold on a minute while I do that. Now here, what I've done first of all is I've got a couple of these Wago connectors with the speaker. This is so if the amp has to come out again, I just have to unclick them. It's very easy to do that, and I tend to leave those in actually, because if you need to get the amp out in future, that's the way we do it. But now, of course, if I now put that on like that, now you see, you won't hear it in the speaker, but let's see what we get. A crackle and a very soft hiss. No hum at all, which is very good news actually. So assuming that's okay, yeah, we now go back to the circuit and go through the switches that are up here, and we go to the non-ECC83 side of C24. We've got a circuit here, you see, like that, you see. C24 is, hang on, it's there where my finger is, you see, it's there, you see, and the other end of that should be, it should create a hum. So I'll find out where C24 is on the circuit, and we'll give that a hum and see if give it a prod and see if it does what it's supposed to. Here now we should have something on here, and we do. That is going through the preamp as well as the ECC83, that's EF86, ECC83 and EL84. Knobs, crackle, as you can see there. And now what we'll do now, that seems to be okay, but obviously there's more AM about than people think, as you can hear from that. So what I'll do now, I'll get a microphone that works. This one doesn't, by the way, so and we'll put it in there, and we'll see if we can get speech out of it. If we do it, then the amp is okay. We don't know about the raised side, but hopefully that's okay as well. So yeah. Then of course we'll look at here on record and playback and see whether we get anything there. If we can, well, back to the deck, and the deck goes in as well. I've wired the mic up to it, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you are. Now that proves to me and everybody that's listening that the amp side of this is fine. So with that in mind now, we need to go and look again at the deck, which has got one or two issues which I've left behind, which I need to sort out. At that point, we put the whole thing together, put a tape on, and see what happens. So this now comes out of here, and very quickly what I'll do is I'll go to the green setting here, which is done either by a knob or by doing that, like that. Switch it on now, like that. One of these here, this one I think, should give us a buzz or something when I touch it here. I hope. Which it doesn't appear to do. Okay, so we'll go back to amp like that. 1, 2. Okay, try that. Okay, try again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Got a button now. Oh, it's here. It's here. The old problem. You try to do things quickly and end up doing things slowly. Let's try this again, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't fall there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's okay. Right now, if I was to switch it to the playback setting down here, which I'm going to do like that, yeah. We'll come down here, and we should find at some stage that one of these should give us playback noise of some kind. But right, so now we're in playback now. It's in here. There you are, that's playback. Okay, so we know now that that's okay. Okay, obviously it's sometimes working and sometimes it doesn't. There it is, that's playback, okay? That's playback, okay. So we know that the amplifier is okay. It's just my shoddy wiring. But anyway, that's okay now. So now we go back to the deck and find out a few things like there's no wind belt on it, and you work out how that goes, and of course sort out, make sure the motor works on all channels. It goes into here on the deck, just here. So what I'll do with all that right, I'll plug it in here, plug these in, and we'll see what happens. So this goes out of the way, over here, out of the way, and I'll take it from there, as it were. With the deck apart again, what I've done, I've taken the belt off the counter here and used it on the rewind here. Okay, it's a lot smaller, but then again, it's not as big as this one here. I don't know. I can't find the manual diagram of this deck and how it works, so I'm doing everything completely off my noggin here, which is never a good idea. But what I've done, because we wind 6 tape in the opposite direction, I've crossed the belt, yeah, onto here. So therefore, this belt here, when rewind is activated, it will go in the opposite direction. That's the idea anyway. I don't know whether it goes another direction anywhere else. I don't think it does, to be honest with you. I don't think it does. I might be wrong on that, but I really don't. So you know, so that way, you know, it's it shall go that way, and the other way round. It shall go the other way. I think this is all purely guesswork on my part, so we'll see later on with that one. But now I'm going to JB weld this because I'm not too happy with the playback button still, so I'm going to JB weld it instead. Right, it's JB welded in place. The JB weld comes in two tubes, a red and a black, like so. And you mix it exactly the same way as you mix araldite. And basically it's a resin and a hardener, like always. And of course it is an industrial welding thing in two tubes. So what I'm going to do, we've got to leave it there for 24 hours to dry, at which point it might be better to plug this thing in. Now if you look here now, you see play is down and that goes all the way up there like that, so that's now sorted. The two wines work as well, but it's very stiff. I don't know why, because I've oiled it and all the pieces move okay, but something is very stiff here, so I don't know what that is. But if I was to now try and put mace to this, but I'm not going to do it tonight, then we shall get something out of it at any rate. What? Well, who knows, but you know, it's that's graphically and that's good. So now that works okay. Yeah, that one does work okay, but again it's very stiff again. So something with this locking bar here and underneath. So that's our next port of call, I think, is why things aren't locking well. The middle one does no trouble, but the other two do give problems. I did manage to get this one locked by we do that thing. It's now locked, but that was with this thing, you know, to take my fingers, which are now absolutely worn out with it, quite frankly. And the other side again, that's gone down, that's okay. But see, it's very stiff. So it might be again an alignment problem. At this stage I don't really know, but I need to get them a lot thinner than they are. And also I'm going to get some buttons. These are off a collar or deck, of course, which has been decommissioned because it's been wet, and the buttons are going to go on like that, just so I can press them okay. What the buttons that we originally, I don't know where they are. They weren't with the unit, so obviously they've gone. But hopefully something like that. Maybe better show you on that one. We'll do the trick there. So I think our next button of call is, quite frankly, buttons. Well, the buttons have gone on okay actually, and they look to be almost right, but not completely, but more or less. Now it's play stroke record on that one, rewind on that one, which is can go loose, don't worry about that, and forward on that one. But if I take that off like that, yeah, and put the thing on like that, the motor doesn't do anything at all until one of these buttons here is pressed. So if you press play down like that, there you go, that is now more or less working. Okay, now that is winding that way, but for some reason it isn't actually that one's going gently, but not that one, which should be. So that isn't right. And the other way around, again, that isn't right either. So this deck still has a few problems. Yeah. Now we know that this is okay, so we know that this lot is okay here. So the problem now is with these two here. Like I said, when I switch it to rewind, that one goes, but that one doesn't. And when I switch it to forward, nothing happens at all. But yeah, so yeah, so it makes a noise. It seems to be doing something, but not a right lot. So something is holding the motor up on fast forward as well. So again, we're going to go back into this deck now and have a look and find out why it's not doing everything it should. Again, without detailed drawings of this deck, I'm a bit lost. I'll admit that. Sometimes you get one problem after another with a tape recorder, and as I've said before, you just carry on and carry on and carry on, and in the end you'll sort it. You'll get there in the end. Because don't forget, this thing is 60 years old, so it's like problems come to light that normally should be left. But anyway, this is the plug that connects the record playhead of the deck to the unit, and as you can see, I've had to rewire it. You see, I've had to rewire it. Now playback's easy. Yeah, I kept that bit in place. So playback, no trouble at all. It goes to the first grid of the EF86 here. Now, if you get the circuit like that, you see, it goes down to the head there. You can see it on the diagram there. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, it's there. Okay. Now, the middle pin goes to deck. That's no problem. And the other two pins, I don't know which are which here, but which is why I put a joint in the middle so that if I rebate, I can swap them over. Now, the record side of it goes to L1 here. Yeah, goes to L1 here. Yeah, and one side of it goes R24. So all this here, at the bottom here, all that bottom wire there is the same circuit. Okay, it's all the same circuit. And so I'm going to find out now where to connect this to save me having to go right under there. That's the next thing. So L1 is this thing here. It's the erase and bias oscillator here. Now, C35, I think it is, here goes to the circuit in question. Yeah, you see? It goes to the circuit in question. So from there it goes all the way down here. So anywhere on this line is somewhere where we can pick that up. Okay, so I'm going to look now. I'm going to find out exactly what goes where. Now it's pin 1 here of L1. Now pin 1 goes to two capacitors, and pin 3 goes to deck, and pin 4 and pin 1 go together across C35, I think it is. It's there. It's there on the circuit, you see. And so I'll work out from that exactly where to connect it, and I'll find somewhere better than under there to connect it, because that is not a good place to wire it. I'd have to take all this. I have to take all this lot out to do it, and I don't want to. So now we're going to look and find out where on the circuit this is. We don't have with this, unfortunately, the diagram of which capacitor and which resistor is which. We don't have that, so we've got to work it out ourselves. So that's what we're going to do. Now then, how do you do this? Well, first of all, that is the head there and the plug there, okay? Now on playback it goes up here, through here, and onto the first grid of the EF86, which is there. Now going the other way, it goes all the way along here to there, that's L1 like I said, and also it goes up here and actually goes to a diode to the EM84. Okay, now then, diode is on the circuit here, and from there it goes all the way along here to a pot down here. I'll show that in a minute, okay? And from there it goes on to the switch. Now the switch, of course, isn't a place where you can get stuff from easily on this. And so what I did was I found out that it goes, first of all it goes through here and here and here, like that. All up here, yeah. And goes on to now this, that and that are all the same place in the circuit. So it's pick it up anywhere basically, which is what I've done. Okay. Now if I was to take the circuit away, like that, and here's the unit question. On the side here, I'll just turn it around so you can see. You can see that, okay? There is down here, just here, there is a pot which is B4, okay? Now one end of it goes to deck, which I've traced, and the other half goes to the switch here. Pink one goes here. Now R24 is this resistor here on the switch, and from there it goes to deck underneath there. So I found out where it was under there, and of course from there we go to there, and so now it is in the same place on the circuit, but rather differently, as I'm sure you can imagine. By the way, yes, I know the capacitors are on the back of the unit. As I've said before, it's had to be done in this case because some of the pots, some of the print was getting loose. So sometimes it's better to be, you know, lazy rather than, you know. Discretion is a better part of valor. So now this amp is, I hope, almost ready to go back in the unit. Next thing we want is an EM84 to go in there, because we know that last one had gone to play duty, this being out previously. So I'll find one. And at last we have something to shout hooray about. All the wiring I've done was correct. Yeah, I know it's strange, but now if I was to switch to play like that, the only problem now is here with the capstan again. Now I don't know quite what, but I noticed there's a couple of screws here that need adjusting, but it does now appear to work on play at any rate. And as far as the winds go, well, nothing on there obviously, but rewind, it's fine. The reason why it doesn't work all that well on the wind forward is that the belt is a little bit past its best. But apart from that, the deck appears to be okay apart from here. So with that in mind, let's see if we can get this to talk to us in a rather more reasonable way, so that we don't have to. It's not this, by the way, or this here, it's causing the problem. It's this here, you see. So I will have to adjust that going up to there. That's the capstan and the idler. It doesn't actually go all the way, nearly, but not all the way. Sometimes with these sort of problems, it's something as simple as the capstan being on upside down. So I'll do that first and try it, and if that doesn't work, I'll try and get that a little bit closer up to there. Probably with, if you look down here very carefully, I wonder if I can show you. The capstan is there, the idler is there, okay? I'll the whole lot off, put it all back on again, and it all seems to be the same as before. But that is not going all the way up to there. Now, if maybe that is the wrong way around, that could possibly cause a problem. But other than that, there's a couple of little screws. One here and one here, and that one in between there holds the capstan onto here, and that is pushed by this lever here. So if I now with it off do that, that pushes that forwards like that, or back like that, you see, and that then pushes this here. So I wonder if the problem is with that there. So I need to basically get the manual and have a look and find out why that is not going all the way up there. Then we'll try and record. That's the mechanics all set up right, but there's still something of a problem. Yeah, a little bit wary and fluttery there, and that is because of this being capstan wheel here being well past its best. You do that, you see, it's fine. But despite that, we can in fact now think about at least testing the record. So I now take this off here like that. And we'll put another tape on and I'll count to 5 and see what happens. As far as this is, if I've got one, great. If I haven't, I'll put this one inside as saying needs a capstan, and as soon as I get one, I'll put it back on the bench and I'll finish the job in question. But now I'll get another tape and we'll see what it does on record. That's the next thing to do. Now on these, that comes down and this one goes over onto record mode. So that goes down and this one goes over to record mode, which is not all that willing to do right now. So right, so that goes down to there, and this goes to record. Oh, I should do anyway. I'll sort that out, get the new tape on, and as always, I'll come back to you. Right, let's see if it records. So first of all, go on to that working okay. Now that goes down, and that's the thing in record mode. Now I'll put these up full for now, and also I'll do that. And 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. and let's see what that does, shall we? So back we go, there we go. And now let's have a listen to that, shall we?
On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see.
That proves it's working, although this microphone is not exactly suited to this machine. A microphone here called Norman. Never mind, I'll go to IKEA and get a plate to go with it, like, you know, with a silly name. But anyway, that is working here, so the electrics on this are basically okay. That seems happy too, actually. Okay, well, we know that that's okay, so yeah, that goes off. Let's hold back for a second so it goes in, goes off like that. And I think I'm going to call this one for 3 reasons. 1, I'm getting sick of the sight of it, and 2, I don't think there's a lot more I can do. This one will come in having been looked at previously. It's got a place of magic behind it, which is not much better. Again, that's an easy thing to get and fix. So now it's simply a case of putting the thing back together again and putting the keys on the front here, because it really does hurt my fingers. That's why I do that. Anyway, as always with things like this, a tape recorder apart and a tape recorder together are 2 different things. And so what you do is to put it together a bit by bit, and each time round see if it works. So that's what we're going to do right here and right now. So there we go, so that's on. Okay, so now we're going to put the various knobs on that go in various places, and then of course from there we've got to put the front on as well. So I'll be back when it's all back together, because I'm sure you don't want to see me put a tape recorder together again, do you? What I've done here is I've got some buttons off an old Colorado tape cam scripter deck, and I've glued them on. They're drying at the moment, and I must admit they are the right colour and they look okay. I don't know what was here originally, but they will do very well. Inside here, the switching mechanism and stuff all work okay. The next thing we've got to do is find 2 screws for here, which are countersunk. Very important that they are. So that's our next trip. 2 screws, let that dry, and then we'll try it. And here is the Brenell 3-star, running away quite happily at last, and I mean at last, because at last. This has had a lot wrong with it, and I'm still looking for a capstan for it, so this tape plays okay on it, but some don't, and it's the capstan itself. I've got to find one for somewhere. But having said that, it does actually that does actually play despite it. This is a 4-track tape, by the way, a 2-track machine, so you get 2 tracks as you see there. But apart from that, it works fine now. Apart from that, it's had a lot wrong with it, like I said. First of all, the electronics weren't too bad apart from capacitors, obviously, but the board, the print on the board was so weak and had been mucked on it before that after 2 or 3 problems with capacitor changing, I put them all on the back of the panel. I know that's not good practice, but sometimes discretion is the better part of valour, and that is this is one such occasion. The buttons, by the way, these are from another deck that I put on just to save me fingers. These work quite well actually. Here they're from a colour or transcript to that, but they're the same colour as well, so they work. I had to release all the buttons through the mechanism. One or two bits were missing, so I had to modify the deck just a little bit because you have to. Also, one of the drive belts inside is slightly worse for wear, but it works okay now. There you go, you see. So I can finally say at last that this one is fixed, apart from the drag, the capstan, which, like I said, feels out for one of those. But because the Brenell strikes again, every time I get a Brenell tape recorder, I always have problems with it. I don't know why, but there's something like that. Brenell used to say that the tape recorders, you could experiment with them. Somebody has seen it's not really worked, so there you go. This is not quite as good a machine as the famous Brenell deck, one of which was featured going off a cliff near the Triffids in 1963. And boy, I wondered, I was repairing this, how many others should go the same way. But there you are. Yeah, it's working at last, and I mean at last. So this is Steve Pendlebury. It's Steve Pendlebury's Vintage Radio Repair Workshop, Longstay Workshop. Saying thanks for joining me on this repair, and I'll speak to you soon. Hopefully very soon. And bye bye. No, maybe not, maybe not.